Step into the crowded halls of the 1935 New York Automobile Show, where amid the familiar gleam of chrome and polished curves, one car commanded attention like no other. The Cord 810, unveiled as a bold 1936 model, immediately drew unusually large crowds, its presence electrifying the atmosphere. Unlike any car seen before, it sat low and sleek, with no conventional grille to announce its front end. Instead, horizontal louvers wrapped around the hood, creating a striking profile later nicknamed the coffin nose. Running boards were absent, replaced by smooth, flowing bodywork that emphasized its streamlined form. The front wheels were driven, a continuation of Cord's engineering tradition, allowing for a lower floor and distinctive proportions. Hidden headlights, inspired in part by aircraft landing light technology, remained concealed until manually cranked from the dashboard, adding to the car's futuristic aura. Concealed door hinges and a rear-hinged hood further erased the usual visual clutter. Yet, behind the applause and fascination lay a question. Was this design too advanced for the realities of 1936 America? The car's accelerated development to meet the show deadline meant that what visitors admired was not yet a fully tested production vehicle. Early customers would soon face delays and mechanical challenges. To understand why the Cord 810 stood apart and what shaped its fate, we turn to the man behind the brand and the economic forces of the Great Depression. To understand why the Cord 810 was so singular and how it fit into its time, we need to look at the man behind the brand and the economic landscape shaping luxury car buyers during the Great Depression. Art Deco was a man who understood both the promise and peril of the American automotive industry during one of its most turbulent decades. As the driving force behind the Auburn Cord-Duesenberg Group, Cord forged a complex empire of luxury and innovation, encompassing some of the most prestigious names in pre-war American motoring. Yet, his ambitions unfolded against the harsh backdrop of the Great Depression, a time when even the wealthiest buyers grew cautious, and the luxury car market was squeezed by economic realities. Cord's influence extended far beyond a single marque. His business interests spanned not only Auburn and Cord, but also the legendary Duesenberg brand, each carrying its own distinct legacy and clientele. Within this constellation, the Cord automobile occupied a special place, a symbol of forward-thinking design and engineering daring to challenge convention. But the 1930s presented a paradox. The era demanded innovation to captivate a shrunken market, yet it also imposed strict limits on pricing, production, and reliability. Launching a car like the Cord 810 in 1936 was a bold gamble. On one hand, it represented a striking break from established luxury car norms, with its streamlined body, front-wheel drive, and advanced mechanical features. On the other, it had to appeal to buyers who were prudently weighing their purchases amid uncertain times. The luxury car buyer of the Depression was not simply seeking opulence. They wanted assurance that their investment was sound, that the car would deliver both style and dependable performance. Cord's strategy was to leverage his industrial resources and reputation to introduce something that could redefine American luxury. But this was no small feat. The economic pressures meant that production had to be efficient, costs controlled, and the final product free from glaring flaws that could undermine confidence. Yet, as history would show, the Cord 810's development was rushed to meet the demands of the 1935 New York Automobile Show, resulting in a vehicle that dazzled the public but arrived at customers' doorsteps before all issues were fully resolved. This tension between ambition and practicality was emblematic of the larger challenges facing the Auburn Cord-Duesenberg organization. The Cord 810 was more than just a new model. It was a statement of intent, a testament to what could be achieved if innovation met with successful execution. However, the economic environment of the Depression required a delicate balance, and meeting that balance proved elusive. Understanding Cord's role and the economic landscape that shaped the luxury market at this time is essential to grasping why the Cord 810 emerged as it did. It was a car born from a visionary industrialist's desire to push boundaries, yet constrained by the realities of a market that demanded both novelty and reliability in equal measure. With this business and economic context established, We can now turn to the creative minds responsible for shaping the Cord 810's groundbreaking design and engineering, exploring how a team led by Gordon Buehrig sought to bring this ambitious vision to life. With the business and economic context in place, we can explore the creative minds that shaped the Cord 810's distinctive design and engineering. Behind the Cord 810's striking form was a team of designers imagining a new kind of American luxury automobile. At the center was Gordon Buehrig, a talented and forward-thinking designer whose leadership shaped the car's daring appearance and innovative engineering. Yet the Cord 810 was not the vision of one man alone. Buehrig's team included notable contributors such as Vince Gardner and Alex Tremulous, whose combined efforts brought a fresh perspective to the project. Their collaboration balanced artistic ambition with the practical demands of automotive production during a challenging economic era. The Cord 810's design did not emerge in isolation. Its roots can be traced cautiously to earlier concepts, notably a smaller Duesenberg proposal that shared some stylistic cues. This connection highlights how ideas evolved gradually, rather than appearing fully formed. The design team expanded and refined these early inspirations, ultimately producing a low-slung body that broke away from the traditional upright luxury car profile. The absence of conventional running boards and the streamlined silhouette were deliberate choices, intended to convey modernity and elegance. A key innovation was the car's distinctive front end, featuring horizontal wraparound louvers that created what would later be called the coffin nose. While this nickname arose after the fact, the design itself was immediately recognized as unique and bold. Concealed door hinges and a rear-hinged hood further contributed to the smooth, uncluttered appearance. These details reflected a commitment to clean lines and aerodynamic efficiency, well ahead of their widespread adoption in American automotive styling. The design team also integrated advanced mechanical concepts into the vehicle's form. The Cord 810's front-wheel drive layout allowed for a lower floor and more compact packaging, influencing the car's proportions and stance. This approach required close coordination between designers and engineers to ensure that the bodywork accommodated the mechanical components without compromising style or function. The hidden headlights, manually raised and lowered by dashboard cranks, were inspired by aircraft landing light technology, lending the car an additional layer of sophistication. This feature was not merely decorative, but part of the car's innovative spirit, even if the lighting system itself was simpler than later automatic pop-up designs. Throughout the design process, the team navigated the tension between pushing boundaries and meeting production realities. The ambitious styling demanded new manufacturing techniques and precise craftsmanship, posing challenges in a time of economic uncertainty. Buehrig and his colleagues worked under pressure to present a compelling product that could revive the Cord brand's prestige, knowing that the car's impact would depend as much on its appearance as on its engineering. Ultimately, the Cord 810's design stands as a testament to collaborative creativity and progressive thinking. It was a carefully considered synthesis of earlier concepts, innovative engineering, and bold aesthetics. This nuanced design story reveals how the Cord 810 emerged not as a solitary invention, but as the product of a dedicated team striving to redefine American luxury automobiles. With the design team introduced, we now examine the exterior features that made the Cord 810 so visually and mechanically distinctive. The Cord 810's exterior was unlike any luxury car America had seen, blending daring style with clever engineering. At first glance, the most arresting feature was the front end, dominated by a series of horizontal louvers that wrapped seamlessly around the hood. These louvers not only provided a striking visual rhythm, but also served a practical purpose, aiding engine cooling. This distinctive front fascia would later be called the coffin nose, a nickname that captured its unmistakable shape, though the term itself emerged well after the car's debut. The design avoided the traditional upright radiator grille, instead favoring a smooth, streamlined nose that suggested speed and modernity even at a standstill. Moving along the sides, the Cord 810 eliminated the customary running boards, a staple on most cars of the era. This absence was not merely an aesthetic choice, but a reflection of the car's engineering layout. Without a driveshaft running to the rear wheels, thanks to its front-wheel drive configuration, the floor could sit lower, allowing a sleeker profile and cleaner body lines. The result was a low-slung silhouette with broad, pontoon-style fenders that hugged the wheels, further enhancing the impression of a car designed to slice through the air rather than push against it. Attention to detail was evident in subtle yet impactful elements like the concealed door hinges. By hiding these components, the designers preserved the smoothness of the body panels, reinforcing the car's modernist ethos. The hood was rear-hinged, opening from the front, a less common approach that complemented the overall streamlined appearance and facilitated engine access without disrupting the car's lines. Perhaps the most innovative and talked-about feature was the Cord's hidden headlights. These were not the electrically operated pop-up lights familiar in much later cars, but instead manually raised and lowered using cranks mounted on the dashboard. This mechanism drew inspiration from aircraft landing light technology, reflecting the era's fascination with aviation and its influence on automotive design. While the headlights' connection to aircraft tech was limited to certain components rather than a wholesale adoption of aviation systems, the effect was nonetheless groundbreaking. When lowered, the headlights disappeared entirely behind smooth panels, leaving the front end uninterrupted. When raised, round lamps emerged gracefully from the fenders, maintaining the car's sleek profile without compromising functionality. The Cord 8 and 10's styling was not just about appearance. It was an expression of engineering innovation translated into form. Every curve, every hidden detail served a purpose, whether aerodynamic, mechanical, or aesthetic. This harmony of design and function set the Cord apart from its contemporaries and established a visual language that would influence automotive styling for years to come. Such a unified approach to exterior design was rare among American luxury cars of the mid-1930s, especially given the economic pressures and conservative tastes that shaped most contemporary offerings. Beneath the striking body lay equally innovative mechanical solutions that set the Cord apart from conventional automobiles. Beneath the striking body lay equally innovative mechanical solutions that set the Cord apart from conventional automobiles. The Cord 810 carried forward a bold engineering tradition established by its predecessor, the Cord L29, by employing front-wheel drive, a layout still unusual in the mid-1930s American automotive landscape. This design choice was not unprecedented, but Cord's implementation was distinctive. The 810 featured a longitudinally mounted Lycoming V8 engine paired with a front-wheel drive system, which allowed for a remarkably low floor and the car's signature sleek proportions. Without a driveshaft running to the rear wheels, the chassis could sit lower, eliminating the need for conventional running boards and contributing to the model's modern appearance. The engine itself was a naturally aspirated Lycoming V8, designed to deliver a balance of smooth power and reliability. While exact horsepower figures varied depending on configuration, the standard 810's engine offered respectable performance for its class. This power plant was mounted ahead of the front wheels, driving them directly through an innovative transmission system that set the Cord apart from most contemporaries. At the heart of the 810's mechanical uniqueness was its electrically assisted preselector transmission. Unlike a traditional manual gearbox, this system allowed the driver to select the next gear in advance, using a dashboard-mounted control. When the driver was ready to shift, simply pressing the clutch pedal completed the gear change. This arrangement provided a smoother, more refined driving experience, especially compared to the often clunky gear changes common in the era. However, it was not a fully automatic transmission as understood today. It required a degree of driver involvement and familiarity to operate efficiently. The preselector transmission was an ambitious attempt to blend manual control with emerging technology, and when functioning properly, it offered an advanced driving sensation. Yet this complexity also introduced challenges. Early examples of the Cord 810 often suffered from transmission-related issues, including difficulties with gear engagement and occasional slipping. These mechanical teething problems underscored the tension between the innovative engineering and the practical realities of production and maintenance during the Great Depression. Another notable feature was the car's hidden headlights, which were manually raised and lowered using dashboard cranks. While these headlamps were related in concept to aircraft landing light technology, the cord system was purely automotive and operated without electric motors, requiring a careful, deliberate action by the driver. This detail reflected the broader philosophy behind the 810, pushing boundaries in design and engineering, but sometimes at the cost of user convenience. Taken together, the Cord 810's mechanical layout demonstrated a remarkable willingness to depart from convention. Its front-wheel drive system, longitudinal engine placement, and preselector transmission created a distinct driving experience that was both ahead of its time and demanding in practice. These features contributed to the car's allure, but also foreshadowed some of the difficulties that would emerge as the model moved from show floor to showroom. Understanding this complex engineering helps explain some of the difficulties that emerged during production and customer delivery. When the Cord 810 made its debut at the New York Automobile Show in November of 1935, the spectacle was nothing short of electrifying. Crowds gathered in unusually large numbers, drawn to the car's arresting low profile, its striking coffin-nose grille with horizontal wraparound louvers, and the promise of a fresh direction in automotive design and engineering. Yet behind the applause and admiration lay a race against time that would soon reveal cracks in the Cord 810's promise. The appearance at the show was the result of an accelerated and intense development process, driven by the need to unveil something sensational to the public and industry at a major event. This urgency meant that the cars displayed were not fully customer-ready, but rather prototypes or near-production examples that served to showcase the design and engineering vision of Gordon Buehrig and his team. To meet the show deadline, the Cord organization pushed forward with production preparations at an accelerated pace. This haste left little room for comprehensive testing or the refinement that a car with so many groundbreaking features required. The front-wheel drive layout, the electrically assisted preselector transmission, and the concealed headlight assemblies, all innovations, demanded meticulous development that was, in many respects, incomplete. While some accounts suggest that a minimum number of cars had to be completed to qualify for the show, these figures remain uncertain and should be approached cautiously. What is clear, however, is that the display models did not fully represent the quality or reliability customers would expect from a finished product. Following the show, early buyers who placed orders encountered delays in delivery, a reality that contrasted sharply with the excitement generated by the Cord 810's public unveiling. The first customer cars arrived later than many had anticipated, frustrating eager owners and dealers alike. Early mechanical issues began to surface as these cars reached the roads. Problems with the transmission system, including difficulties with gear engagement and occasional slipping, became a notable concern. Additional challenges such as vapor lock and overheating also emerged, reflecting the pressures of adapting advanced engineering to production realities amid the economic constraints of the Great Depression. Despite these hurdles, it is important to recognize that not every Cord 810 suffered from these faults, and many owners appreciated the car's innovative character and distinctive style. The tension between the Cord 810's brilliant design and the practical challenges of manufacturing and reliability would shape its early reputation. This gap between the dramatic, well-received debut and the reality of production readiness set the stage for the mixed experiences that early owners would soon face. For many, the Cord 810's arrival symbolized hope for American ingenuity during a period of economic uncertainty, even as its ambitious engineering sometimes outpaced the realities of mass production and post-show support. As early buyers finally received their cars, experiences varied widely, with some embracing the innovation and others facing frustrating mechanical issues. For those who took delivery of the Cord 810, the driving experience could be thrilling, yet sometimes challenging. The car's pioneering front-wheel drive layout, combined with its innovative preselector transmission, offered a driving feel unlike most other automobiles on the road in 1936. However, these advanced features also introduced complexities that tested both drivers and mechanics alike. Early owners soon discovered that the preselector transmission, while designed to allow smoother gear changes by letting the driver select the next gear before shifting, could be temperamental. Issues such as gears slipping or the car unexpectedly popping out of gear were reported, creating moments of frustration. These transmission difficulties were not merely quirks, but reflected the challenges of adapting new technology into a production vehicle still in the early stages of refinement. Beyond the transmission, some owners encountered other mechanical concerns. Vapor lock, a condition where fuel vaporizes in the fuel lines and interrupts flow, occasionally caused hesitation or stalling, especially in warmer conditions. Overheating issues were also noted. A reminder that the Cord 810's engineering innovations demanded careful attention to cooling and fuel systems. Yet, it is important to emphasize that these problems did not affect every car or every owner. Many drivers found the Cord 810 to be an exhilarating and distinctive automobile, appreciating its low stance, clean lines, and the unique sensation of front-wheel drive. The manufacturer responded to these early challenges with running changes and service efforts aimed at improving reliability. Adjustments to transmission components, refinements in fuel delivery, and enhanced maintenance guidance helped many owners overcome initial difficulties. Still, the damage to the Cord 810's early reputation was difficult to reverse. The contrast between the spectacular debut and the real-world ownership experience underscored the tension between engineering ambition and practical readiness. This period highlights the delicate balance between innovation and reliability. The Cord 810 was undeniably ahead of its time in design and technology, yet it reached customers before every mechanical detail was fully resolved. This reality created a mixed reception among buyers. Some embraced the car's boldness and style, while others were disappointed by the growing pains of early production. Understanding these varied experiences is crucial to appreciating why the Cord 810 remains a fascinating chapter in automotive history. As these early issues unfolded, they combined with broader economic and market pressures to reshape the Cord's trajectory. The car that once drew crowds with its futuristic promise was soon facing a more difficult path, one marked by commercial struggles and declining confidence. For many owners, the Cord 810's blend of excitement and uncertainty became part of its mystique. The car's striking appearance and advanced features often drew admiration from neighbors and passers-by, even as owners navigated the realities of maintenance and repair. In a time shaped by economic hardship, the decision to purchase such an unconventional automobile reflected both optimism and a willingness to embrace the unknown. These early issues, combined with other market factors, soon transformed the Cord from a symbol of innovation into a commercial struggle. Despite the Cord 810's dazzling debut and groundbreaking design, the reality of bringing such an advanced automobile to market proved far more complicated. Early enthusiasm among buyers soon faced the harsh realities of a luxury car market still reeling from the Great Depression. While the Cord 810's innovative features attracted attention, the combination of mechanical teething problems and delayed deliveries began to erode confidence in the brand. The car's electrically assisted preselector transmission, intended to offer a smoother driving experience, became a particular source of frustration. Drivers encountered difficulties with gear selection and occasional slipping, issues that stemmed not from a lack of ambition, but from the challenges of perfecting a novel system under tight development timelines. Other early troubles, such as vapor lock and overheating concerns, added to the perception that the Cord was not yet fully ready for widespread ownership. These mechanical uncertainties were compounded by the fact that many customers had to wait longer than expected to receive their cars. The Cord 810 had been rushed to the 1935 New York Automobile Show to make a bold statement, but the display models were not fully tested production vehicles. As a result, early buyers faced frustrating delays, which contrasted sharply with the intense publicity and excitement that surrounded the car's introduction. In a market where luxury buyers expected not only style, but also reliability and immediate availability, such delays weighed heavily. Pricing also played a critical role in the Cord's commercial challenges. Positioned firmly in the luxury segment, the 810's price tags reflected its advanced engineering and bespoke craftsmanship. However, the shrinking pool of affluent buyers during the economic downturn meant that fewer customers were willing or able to invest in a car that seemed to demand constant attention and maintenance. Dealer networks, vital for supporting high-end automobiles, struggled to provide consistent service and parts availability for the Cord. This lack of robust dealer support further undermined buyer confidence and complicated ownership. It's important to recognize that these difficulties were not the result of a single flaw or isolated failure. The decline in Cord's fortunes was shaped by a complex interplay of factors. The ambitious engineering that had not yet matured into dependable technology, the economic pressures of the era, and the realities of luxury car marketing during a period of financial uncertainty. As these challenges mounted, the Cord 810 shifted from being a symbol of visionary design to a cautionary example of innovation pushed too far, too fast. Yet, even amidst these struggles, the car's distinctive styling and engineering concepts left a lasting impression on the automotive world. The story of the Cord 810's commercial struggles sets the stage for the next chapter, where the 1937 Cord 812 would attempt to build on its predecessor's promise while confronting the same relentless market pressures. The final chapter of Cord production brought changes and an end to an era, but the design's influence would endure. As the Cord 810's initial promise gave way to the realities of production and market pressures, the 1937 Cord 812 emerged as the final chapter in Cord's ambitious automotive story. While the 812 retained the groundbreaking design language introduced by Gordon Buehrig and his team, including the low, running board-free body and the signature horizontal wraparound hood louvers, the model year also brought important mechanical refinements and new performance options that both built on and diverged from its predecessor. One of the most notable distinctions was the introduction of supercharged variants, which added a new dimension to the Cord's powertrain capabilities. These supercharged 812 models featured external chrome exhaust pipes, a striking visual cue that set them apart from the naturally aspirated versions. It is important to clarify that not every Cord 812 carried this supercharged engine. Rather, this option was available on selected configurations, enhancing horsepower and acceleration beyond the standard Lycoming V8 power plant used in the earlier 810. This nuance is critical in understanding the 812's place within the Cord lineage, as the supercharging was closely associated with later developments and did not apply retroactively to the 810. Despite these advancements, the 812 remained fundamentally connected to the 810's engineering foundation, particularly in its distinctive front-wheel drive layout and advanced transmission system. However, these innovations came at a time when the broader Auburn Cord-Duesenberg organization faced mounting financial and operational difficulties. The cessation of Cord automobile production in 1937 was not the result of a single model's failure, but rather a culmination of shrinking luxury car markets, dealer network challenges, and corporate decisions influenced by the harsh economic climate of the Great Depression. Production records for the 810 and 812 are complicated by leftover parts, renumbered cars, and partially completed vehicles, making exact totals difficult to verify with certainty. This complexity further underscores the turbulent conditions under which these cars were built and marketed. Ultimately, the end of Cord automobile manufacturing marked the close of an era defined by bold design and engineering ambition. Yet, the Cord 810 and 812's innovative features and daring aesthetics left a lasting impression that extended well beyond their brief production runs. Though the company's automotive chapter concluded, the tension between visionary design and practical execution embodied by these models continues to captivate enthusiasts and historians. The story of the Cord 810 and 812 is a reminder of the challenges faced by innovators operating in uncertain times, and how even the most advanced creations can be shaped and sometimes limited by the realities of their day. For many who encountered the Cord 810 and 812, the cars represented a rare convergence of artistry and technical daring seldom seen in their era. The striking appearance and unconventional engineering challenged expectations of what an American automobile could be, especially during a period marked by economic hardship. Even today, their story invites reflection on the risks and rewards of pursuing innovation against formidable odds. Though production ended, the Cord 810's design influence and complex legacy continue to captivate enthusiasts and historians alike. The Cord 810's story is one of brilliance and struggle intertwined, a design that dared to defy its era's limits. It remains an enduring symbol of American automotive ambition, capturing the imagination with its sleek lines, hidden headlights, and bold engineering choices. Yet, this car was not simply a triumph of innovation. It was also a vehicle introduced before all its complexities had been fully mastered. The tension between visionary design and the realities of production is central to understanding the Cord 810's place in history. Its advanced front-wheel drive system, preselector transmission, and low-slung body set new standards, but also presented challenges that manufacturing and customer support struggled to overcome during the difficult economic climate of the Great Depression. The early mechanical issues and delayed deliveries remind us that innovation alone does not guarantee success in the marketplace. Instead, the Cord 810 teaches us to distinguish between groundbreaking concepts and the practical demands of bringing a car reliably to customers. It was neither a flawless masterpiece nor a total failure, but a complex chapter in automotive progress shaped by ambition and circumstance. As we reflect on its legacy, the question remains open. Was the Cord 810 truly too advanced for its time, or simply a victim of rushed development and unstable corporate conditions? Your perspective matters. Share your thoughts below, and if you appreciate thoughtful journeys through automotive history, consider subscribing for more stories that explore the machines behind the myths. What do you think? Was the Cord 810 a car ahead of its time, or an ambition that outpaced reality? Share your thoughts below, and join us for more journeys into automotive history.